All right. So everyone, if you go to your LMS, you will see under the topic of class exercise where we had the recorded macros. I have put another section over here of master file creation. In this,
Great.
you should have two copies, two things. Excel file and there should be a PDF file. Let me open it over here and show you how it should look like. So if you open this Excel file, you will see there are three sheets in it. July 2012, August 2012, September 2012. And all the sheets have the common headers, right? Even though it might not look, but has common headers. So they're about 14 headers in July sheet. If I look over here, 14 headers in the August sheet and 14 headers in 15 headers over here. Why 15? What increased? Description. And one last thing is supplier invoice number is there, which is not in other sheets. So that's fine. Ignore this column O. You can go ahead and delete it also. Let's not create confusion right now. So let's say these are the 14 columns which are common to all the three sheets. So what I want to do is not to work in this sheet, okay? We are not going to work in this workbook. I want you to create a code that, let's say, wherever...
Where is this file? Sorry.
In LMS.
LMS reference material.
In LMS under class exercise.
Okay, got it.
All right. So what I want you to do is, let's say, for example, I've been working on this particular workbook. So I want to write a code in this workbook only that helps me to open something like this, where this dialog box opens. And once I've opened this dialog box, I should be able to select that file. Once I've selected that file, I should be able to copy all the three sheets in the current workbook where I'm creating this code, right? And once that is done, I would create another sheet, add another sheet called master file or master sheet, and then get first the July, the first sheet data, paste it, go to the second sheet, pick the data, go to the master sheet and paste it below the first sheet data, and same process for the third one.
Without headers.
Without headers.
Without
yes.
headers.
Yes.
So
only
basically,
July's header should be there. For others, they should not be headers. So we are trying to make a quarterly report, basically.
so Shani, it will be a consolidation of three data,
months.
3 months in one sheet, and with a condition of this opening coding, right? I have to
Correct.
open this file.
Correct.
And this file will be the new one. Okay, the old one.
Okay. I don't want you to work in the same workbook where the data is, because that would not be a very fruitful macro, right? We want to create a program in which I can have a quarterly report of any file, right? If I have another file which has October, November, December, my program should be able to create a report in that new workbook for those 3 months. So I want to give that. In fact, I won't even work on this file. I should be working on new workbook itself. I don't want to disturb this. So how will you code for that? So one thing that I have not taught you is how to open the dialog box of open from your Excel files, from your VBA. Anybody who knows it?
Workbooks.open and then the path of the file.
No. But I don't want you to decide the path of the file. I don't want it to be static. I want that a user should be able to pick any 3 months from the from the computer.
That's a new one.
Yes. So how will you work with it? Hold on. I had done a project on which I used it. So I'm going to use that code.
Something related to VB message box result, like we did in VBS and something like that.
Not really, but if you look over here, I have used this thing called application.getOpenFileName. This get open file name, this will help you to choose a file. All right. So I'm going to copy and paste this code. How much of it I should copy? I'm just thinking about that. So I'm just going to copy and paste this code for everyone in the chat window. I know it will require a little bit of copying and pasting, or I can put it in the LMS also. Let me put this part of the code, not the entire code, but some bit of the code inside in a text file itself. So go through this code, okay? This will help you to open a, like this code I had written to open a file dump. Once the file dump was open, I copied the sheet from that place to this particular workbook. So let me put this also on the LMS. In the same place where you have master file creation, all the documents, I'm adding a text and I'm putting the code over there so that it's easier for you to copy it. And otherwise you will be wasting a lot of time in copying that data. Let me know if you guys can see that. Are you able to see it? View it?
Ishani checking.
Yes,
Just checking,
Ishani.
Ishani. Just give me a minute, checking.
So master file, the PDF is there. Yeah, the code has come,
Yeah, it is there.
right? So pick up this code. It might not be exactly fitting into your need because this is obviously from some other work that I've copy pasted. For your knowledge purpose, this code is what helps me to open that dialog box. Okay, so if I just copy this, then and I paste it in that new workbook. I want to insert a module and work. And so if I create a sub and I run this thing, how does it work? If I press F5, what it opens? It opens this choose file to import. Got it? So that's the purpose of this statement. Why I'm doing this? Because I don't want the path also to be static. I should be able to pick any file which has multiple sheets and should be able to copy and consolidate that.
And from here,
Can
how
you
to
do
select that file, particular file?
You just select just how like you will select, you select and open. That's it.
Okay.
Ishani, can you do that again?
This part. So
Yeah.
this what it does, it says application dot get open file name. This helps you to open that dialog box, which we typically get when we click on open. So once you click on open, you see you get the same thing and you select a file and you open and it opens it for you.
Yeah.
So how to get this dialog box? It's done through this code that I've written over here. It's application dot get open file name. And what are we looking for? We are looking for Excel files. We don't want anyone to get any files over here, but specifically Excel file. Now, file name could be anything. So there is an asterisk. You remember asterisks, roles of asterisks? What is
Yes,
the role of an asterisk?
find a specific
Wildcard,
text.
right? It's a wildcard character. So anything can be there in front of .excel. Now, why an asterisk is given at the end of it also? Because it could be XLS, it could be XLSX, it could be XLSM. So any extension could also be there.
Okay.
And it says choose file to import. That is a text that will come up on the top.
Okay.
Right? So that's the whole purpose.
Doesn't this will create an issue because I'm not giving a location of it, because while opening a box, it might go or show the download folder of mine or the document folder of mine, whereas the
So you
file
can
is-
change, right? You can change. So when you press F5, it opens this place, right? How you have, so you can always go and pick where you want to go and which file you want to open. You have full liberty to pick any file from your PC.
But how would I do that in code?
So you're opening this, and when you when you've selected the file in the code, then it's working, right? You don't have to tell, it will pick itself.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say I went over here and this is the place I have that file. So I'm opening that file, right? Class assignment, and I open it. Got it?
Ishani, can you tell me that why we are using .excel twice?
This is kind of a format that is there. It's like a fixed syntax that we use. There's no explanation to why.
Okay.
The problem statement is, Gunjan, that we have a file which has multiple sheets in it. And let's say 3 months data is there. What I want is for you to write a code that we are able to create a master file from those 3 sheets into one common sheet. But the coding has to be written in a workbook where only the code should be there. And you will be able to, you should be able to import the data in that file and make final report over there. So you should not disturb the original file.
Can you show the LMS link, Shani? Sorry about that.
Appending the data as well. Yes, appending the data. LMS link is over here. This will fall under, it is going to fall under your class exercise. Sorry, it's under class exercise master file creation.
Okay.
Shani, is this a keyword vimport and strimport? And what is?
No, this is just vimport is just a variable.
Okay. Okay.
And if you don't pick any files, so there is a code called if we import equal to false, then, right? This is when you have selected no files. Then you will require over here. So what we are doing over here, Shweta, is we are using this functionality of get open file name. What it helps us to do is kind of stimulates what we do in Excel, that we can go and select any file from our system and copy the data.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, Ashish.
Sorry. Sorry, Shani.
So for example, when I run this thing and I cancel it, so a message box is coming, no file has been selected. But if I select a file, that gets stored in this variable called vimport. So it just selects. So Pheasant, it doesn't open, it just selects that file and it understands its path and everything. So I don't have to remember the path.
Okay.
Okay.
Ishani, do we have to open this master sheet, master workbook manually, and then we can work on the code on it?
Not
Then-
manually. You're going to
Okay.
open from here.
From the Excel you have
Yes.
posted, right?
Correct.
Okay, okay.
So Ishani, if we need to use this application.get open file, we have to declare a variable first to equivalent this thing.
No, if you don't declare any variable as it is, it goes into variant. So just to keep it open, let it be a variant over here.
Okay, so
Let it be a variant. It's a deliberate attempt to make it a variant.
okay. So we just simply need to write, application.start with this.
Yes, and what we are doing is when a person is opening, when through this code, the open dialog box is coming up and you're selecting a file, the name of the file, the path of the file gets stored in this variable. Right? So when I want to open this workbook, I will write something like this: workbooks.open vimport.
Oh.
So if I run this thing, and I say, okay, I want to select this file, you see that particular file has opened up.
Sure, makes sense.
All right. So this is what is happening in the code. Because you can't copy a sheet of one workbook to another workbook till it's open. So the first activity will be open, then it will be to copy and then to close that workbook also.
Can I see the code?
I have already put it in LMS.
Okay.
So Ishani, do we really need to put the if condition here? I mean, if a person click on cancel, it would automatically close this thing, or
So if condition, just to say that, okay, you did not select any file. That's it. And then I would actually also put, which I have not put in my original code, I will also exit the sub because I don't want any opening to happen there.
yeah.
So I'll put an exit sub also so that the program stops. This much everyone has written and understood what is going on.
Shani, I have joined a bit late. Naveen here.
Okay, so Naveen, like yesterday we had discussed that we will be working on this very much related to our work kind of a problem, in which there is, we want to create, let me just open the statement also. And all the data that I'm using, all the files that I'm opening, it's already in LMS. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to open a new workbook and write a program which copies all the worksheets from the file plot class assignment April 2013. Okay, so this PDF is also there, this file is also there. But in order to copy sheets of a file, the first step is to be able to open it. Okay. Now, little change I've done in this problem statement. I'm not saying that you should allow the user to pick which file to open. Because this file right now has the data for 3 months of July, August, and September. Right? But this is 1 quarter. Then I might have another file, which is October, November, December. So if I want to do a quarterly summary of that particular file, I want the program to be flexible in which it's able to pick a file and repeat the same process on it.
Okay.
So I don't want you to give a file path to it. I don't want you to give a file name to it. I want you to open through an open dialog box. And that you can get using this code that you see on the top, which is get open file name.
Okay, Shani, understood.
And if the person is not picking any file, then a message box is coming, no file selected. Otherwise, an exit sub. Otherwise, it will go ahead, workbooks.open. Do you remember this thing, right? Workbooks.open.
Yeah.
This is kind of your file name that you're giving.
Yeah.
But since it's stored in a variable, you don't have to put it in double quotes. It's just the name of the file with the path.
So here this variable, I mean, we haven't declared it, right?
Declared it. Deliberate attempt of not declaring it. We want it to be a variant.
Variant.
Because, yeah, any kind of name could be there. So just let's keep it as a variant.
Got it.
Sorry, Shani, can you come again on the variant and variable differences of it? What is the difference?
Variant is basically a variable that gets assigned, is a data type which gets assigned to a variable by default. So in a variant, you can pretty much store any kind of value. It could be a Boolean value, it could be, a number, it could be decimals, it could be a text, it could be a date and time. So it gives us liberty to, store any kind of information that will be there. So there will not be any data type mismatch. So anytime you don't declare a variable, it automatically becomes a variant.
Okay.
Ishani, this coding when I'm running it, it's giving as variable not defined.
Because you guys have option explicit. Did you work on a new workbook?
Yeah, I started putting in a habit of putting it, so
Okay.
I'll just remove it.
Let's
Thanks.
remove it for now.
And this message box is simply when the file is not found there, right?
No, not found. File will always be found. If I suppose open this and I cancel, if I don't select any file.
Okay.
Then it will show exit.
Also, basically, we are not allowing the code to pick up the file. Rather, the dialog box open and then we pick up. I was understanding. I was getting it incorrectly.
Yeah, that's why I was saying again. I don't want the path and the file to be static. I want that also to be dynamic now.
So Ishani, here in the code, at the starting application.get open file name. So here you have mentioned that only Excel file will reflect to open, right?
Yes, because we are working in Excel.
No, so with this code, I mean, we can open Word files or PDF files if we give a dot PDF or not. No, right?
No.
Okay.
Only if the extension is .excel and something, then it will allow you to open.
Right.
But not saying that VBA cannot open your PDF or your Word files. It can, but this code is strictly for Excel files. How will you copy all the sheets from that workbook to this workbook?
Activate the particular sheet and first activate it, then copy and then go to the new file and then paste it.
But there should be a faster way of doing copying of the entire workbook. Gunjan?
We should find the end sheet, number of sheet present in the sheet file first, and then.
Yeah, I agree. The thought process is absolutely correct, Ashish, that, find a number of sheets and one by one copy and paste it. But I'm thinking there's going to be a faster code for it. For sure, there has to be a faster code for it.
We can also move or copy the file. We can use that code. That can be a fast way.
Entire sheet from another workbook. All sheets from one book to another. Hold on. Sorry. I'm not listening. Sorry. What did you say, Faisal?
to use the code for moving a sheet into the new sheet, and then
copying it.
No, that will not console the file.
This one has a for loop only. Everywhere it's written for each only. Okay.
I have used one to the count of the worksheet.
So for each for loop is there, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think so. I used a for loop. Why can't I remember using a for loop?
Yeah, seems like it.
Try to apply that for loop for copying the sheets. Somehow I don't remember for loop in my work.
I had I'm forwarding that. I'm forwarding. From there, I can migrate the contract or you can
Can I request everyone to be on mute, please? I guess we'll have to do the for loop only. All right, let's apply the for loop then. So remember, when as soon as this workbook opens, the one that you selected, that becomes the active workbook. Remember that part. So if you do anything called worksheets.count and all those things, it will be working for your active workbook.
Ishani, could you help adding a workbook and naming the workbook at the same time? It can happen?
No, we are not adding any workbook. We are opening the workbook.
Opening the workbook, okay.
Right, that workbook that I sent, the Excel file that I sent, that is the one you need to open.
Okay.
So
Okay,
once
fine.
you open it, then you need to copy the 3 sheets from there to the new workbook where you're writing this code.
All right, then we need not to name that workbook?
No,
need to?
no
need
to.
to.
No need to.
All right.
Let me check, Girish. It's a Gmail. S. Girish. Guys, how will you ensure there are 3 worksheets over here in the new workbook?
I will first count the sheet in the base data file, and with that count, I will try to add a number
Add
of
the number of
sheets.
worksheets. Okay.
It will be part of the loop.
So I'm not able to digest this thing. I think there has to be a faster way of doing what we're doing.
I have also done the same. I have count the number of.
Yeah, but initially you will have to count. When you're counting, you have to make sure that you're counting before you open the new the workbook. When you're in the
I didn't get that. Can you please repeat once
in
again?
the very beginning only. So that would be your active workbook. So you can say, or you activate the workbook. Let's say workbooks, and in the code this dot activate, right? And find the number of worksheets.
But if we are taking the name of the workbook from the user, then how can we do that?
No. The user file already has 3 sheets. That's not the problem. The problem is where you're going to paste. Does it have 3 sheets or not?
We are making a new file in which we have to paste that sheets, right?
Yeah, but a new file has typically 1 sheet, right?
Right.
So how will you put the second and the third sheet?
So if we paste one by one, then it will automatically create the sheet.
How? Where will you tell? Let's say you were saying, okay, copy it, but how will you tell where to paste it?
If it says only paste, then it will not automatically name it automatically.
I don't know. Let's try.
We need to set master file its path or something.
Set master file path. Why?
Then only we want to save it, right? All the 3.
But Ishani, we are consolidated 3 months data, so it will be in vertical manner without header.
So
why we need to
consolidation is
open-
happening. No, consolidation is happening once you've copy pasted the 3 sheets, then a new sheet is added, which is master file, and then that consolidation is happening. But I would want the 3 individual sheets also to be there.
So
Not just the
basically we have
consolidation.
total of 4 sheets in the new master.
Total of 4 sheets.
Oh.
Yes.
So you are saying that first we need to same copy the 3 sheets as the question file, and then the 4th sheet which will be consolidated all the 3 sheets data.
Correct. Correct. You're absolutely correct.
Ishani, in that case, algorithm plays step by step procedure.
In that case,
Step by step, we need to do.
I've already put that in the problem statement. Open a workbook, write a code which copies all the sheets, into a new workbook. So that's there. Once all the sheets are copied, create a master worksheet in which new workbook, which shows all the data of the 3 sheets copied in a sequential way. It's all given over here. Just ignore the third one. First 2 is what we are trying to achieve.
But if there is fixed that it is quarterly data, then we can default select 4 sheets to open.
4 sheets to open. See, typically what will happen,
we know that
Abhishek.
It is.
Go ahead.
As we know that it is a quarterly data, and what is our problem statement? So we can default or directly command to the VBA to open directly 4 new sheets in which we can paste new data in our new activated workbook.
Okay, I agree. However, what if this is a workbook in which, let's say, the first time this technique works, that add 3 sheets. When you're running the same code again, then would it be valid? Do you still need to add 3-4 sheets?
If we are making this code only to collate the quarterly data, then every time it will work, because quarterly data will be based on 3.
Yeah. But there are already 3 sheets, right? The first time you ran the entire code, it already created 3 sheets in a master sheet. So 4 sheets are already there. Do you still want to go ahead and add 3 more sheets? No. You will just clean up those 3 sheets, right? Or you will delete all the sheets and create new sheets. That's what thinking is required. Do you want to do that or not do that? You want to make sure every time this workbook opens, only there is 1 sheet, no sheet is there, only 1 sheet is left. How do you want to deal with it?
If
this can happen. Yeah, only 1 master sheet is in this new workbook, and we import all those 3 every time, quarterly reports.
Okay, so you're saying whenever this workbook opens, first thing you want to do is delete all the previous sheets.
Yes.
And leave only 1 sheet, which is the quarterly sheet.
The master sheet. Yeah, the quarterly sheet. Yeah.
Because finally we need only that quarterly data. We are just copying 3 sheets just for our knowledge purpose. But basically our task is to consolidate all quarterly data in 1 master sheet without headers. But it's my opinion. I'm not saying that
but there can be, the thing is, there can be a lot of ways of tackling one problem in Excel only. So that's why I'm not saying anything is right or wrong. So that's why I'm saying, let's brainstorm, let's try to do it.
So we cannot add the worksheet where we find the count of number of sheets. From there we can add the sheet number of sheets. Then we can
take that approach either way. Like I said, either way, you can take that approach also and make sure you clean up all the sheets before the new data comes in. Either way, both work.
With this code worksheet.delete, won't it delete all the sheets here?
I think it leaves 1. That's what I will see. 5.
It will delete, I think, all sheets.
Yeah.
And the count should be 2 or 3.
You experiment at your end, I'm experimenting at my end. Don't look at my sheet. I'm doing my set of brainstorming. You do yours. Okay. All right, everybody do your own work. Don't look into my work.
Blasting the head now.
Okay, before I forget, I know I'd requested till I think 13th the timing of 2:30, but since I felt sick for 2 days on Thursday and Friday, I could not take the other training as well. So can I request for again tomorrow for 3 p.m. and Monday on 3 p.m. Only 2 days. 3 p.m. I'm saying, sorry, 2:30. 2:30 for 13th and 17th as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess 18th also.
18th as it is, they start at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, right.
No.
Right.
We have a off on 14th. This class?
No. You don't
we have a
off.
class, no?
You have a
So on
class. I
14th
don't
we
have the
have
other
class.
training.
Okay, then it won't be on 14th as well.
No, on 13th and 17th, 2:30. Otherwise, regular time.
Okay.
Only on 13th and 17th.
So 13 will be 2:30, 17th will be 2:30, and on 14th it will be 2.
Yes, and then regular.
And
Whatever was
18 will be 3
o'clock.
and then 2.
Yes. Just 2 more days
And then
of it.
from 19.
Regular,
Yeah.
2 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
Okay, got it. Shani, just want to ask something you, not related to, related to this Excel. Like we make tools in our Excel and all these things where we, pick the raw data and filter and all those things. So whatever we are learning, is it heading us to that making tools and all those stuff or not?
Yes.
I'm a little bit confused because yes, we are making program, running them, make the worksheet work like Excel should work automation. We are working on that, but basically the tools and the options we give to the users to select, and as soon as he click on that, he can add the data in that. And are we heading to that only or not?
Correct. See, first thing is that you have to create the programs in the back end. And then comes the front end where you are going to put all the form controls for the user to give you inputs for the programs to work in the back end.
Okay.
Okay,
So
but
right
first
now we are
thing,
working for the backend.
Backend, because first we fix the backend, then we decorate the front end and connect them both.
Okay, so the next portion is to make the front end and connect them.
Correct.
Got it. Thanks.
Why is it creating empty sheets for me?
So Ishani, I want to ask one more thing. Can we activate the new book and then we can
The workbook which you open is already a activated book. So if I run the program till this part where I'm opening the workbook, right?
So this will open the workbook which is
you have to copy.
Which is active. Then we can activate the new book which we have already opened, on which we are working. Then we can
No, but why would you want to activate that one?
to paste, to add the sheet number of count from taken
to
from that.
Paste, I can always work with this, right? Workbooks, the name of the workbook where I want to paste, and then the worksheets.
So first we can add the number of sheet and then we can do that. Like that, we cannot do that.
Add the number of sheets where?
In the new worksheet, workbook.
So that we have already, in my program, what I've done, I've already created 3 sheets in the master sheet. Now I am creating a program such that anytime you rerun the program, it is just going to go ahead and clear the content from all the sheets.
Okay.
So that when the new workbook gets copied over here, it should be able to work.
Ishani, how can we code where we are enabling the codes to go to the very first sheet, regardless whether the active sheet is regardless of the active sheet. So basically, I open a workbook, and the active sheet is second one, but I want to go to the first one.
Repeat again once.
So the action is I open a workbook from a folder, and it pops up it's open up the workbook that where the second sheet is active sheet, but I want to go to the very first sheet, not the active sheet.
So use the position worksheets one dot activate, one dot activate in the bracket. Like I put you put one dot activate.
Okay.
I think it's not moving. He is not changing. I'm not able to understand. Anybody wants to help me? That I counter is not moving. Why is it not moving? Only July is getting copy pasted.
Actually, Shani, the code will be the workbook which is currently open, which we would like to copy. Sheet, the worksheet, the sheet number I dot copy. Then the reference of the other book, new workbook, dot worksheet, and that sheet number I.
That's what I'm doing.
No, you have written after. After won't be applied here, no?
Why?
Since we are copying the workbooks, we are not moving the worksheet. It will automatically copy the whole worksheet from workbook to another.
Could you repeat once again?
Yes. I let me share the code with you. Data is my current open workbook and master is my new workbook.
Copy master worksheet. Same thing I've written. You just have the habit
after.
of. If you don't write after, right? By default, you are doing that because see the way one thing is that you're writing the argument's name one
Actually,
way.
worksheet. Okay, seems like after.
Same thing.
Okay, although this is working for me.
How? Why is it not working for me? I can't understand why my eye is not working. It is showing me the right names of the workbook. Somehow, I don't know what it is doing. Is it copying the right data? But it's naming everything July.
Since we have fixed the worksheet I in the new workbook, worksheet 1, is that something need to be changed?
When I had it at I, it didn't work. So I said, okay, let it be 1. Still not working. My I somehow is not incrementing only for this copy purpose. But when I move, if I, put a comment over here and if I run this, right? So I say, okay, open this. So it's going to July. It is going to August. It is going to September. It is picking all the right names in the loop, but it's not copying the right files. You put in data, but I don't think so you need a data file because as it is, that is the active workbook, right?
I believe something, some syntax need to be changed of the method of dot copy after and the worksheet 1 or worksheet I. Something need to be changed here. Yes.
Yeah, something is odd, but what I'm not able to pinpoint very well.
Also, it's what about implicitly naming the workbook as well from the worksheet perspective? Which worksheet of which workbook is need to be copied to which workbook?
You're talking about this one.
Since when would you be copying to the new workbook, the active workbook would change, wouldn't it?
Maybe the
active workbook will be the master workbook.
No? That is correct. Now you.
So we have to specify the workbook from
Yes,
which to which and which to which. That's what the data and master is working.
That's where it is moving around. Now it makes sense, right?
As a workbook.
As a workbook, right?
Let's keep the source workbook as the file name and the new workbook, master workbook as a workbook.open. This is the code which I have added. This is my master.
Let me just see if this one runs. Now it worked. Thank you.
I again uploaded the same file 102. Yeah, so and
I know I've taken a couple of extra minutes of your time, guys, but I think if I'm stuck, you will also be stuck. That's why I thought, let me just finish. So I just have this one file called master. We really don't have to add so many sheets. So it is adding on its own. So when I select this workbook, click on open, it is creating all the 3 sheets for me with the name of July, August, and September. And I just have this sheet called master sheet. Okay. So if you could see the code, thank you, Gunjan. This is the problem in active. All right, this code which you see in front is actually copy pasting and naming. Copy pasting and that sheet is ready. Now your work is to consolidate the data. I know it's a lot to ask, but is there a possibility you guys can try and finish it at your work, at your homes after work? And when we meet tomorrow, we can discuss the output instead of putting in the class time in this.
Yep,
Yes,
sure.
we can do that.
Actually, the problem I was facing this part of the code was the current region won't work since it will be copying the first 4 header as well. While the last row method .count or .row method is not working since there are data discrepancy in between. The missing data.
Yes, missing values are there. So current region would work.
But for that, I believe we have to remove the first 4 header to make it even data copy. If you are consolidating one after the another, the header need to be
So
removed.
what you can do to make your life easier, you can use current region to copy paste and delete the that row.
Okay.
That is easier.
Yep.
Or the other way could be use current region in each sheet first, fill the blank cells with hyphen.
Okay.
And then you
the
can
last
use
one.
your,
Okay.
yes.
Can you scroll some little up?
Little up, yes.
So many errors.
So many errors.
Yeah. Okay,
Welcome to the true life of a coder.
I'm also facing some error.
Yes, let me help you. Tell me.
It's easier then. Why am I doing X down and then? Okay.
Which one?
Shani, where did you write this code?
I've written it in a new workbook. I've named it as JPEG MIS master file. I'll upload it in LMS.
Ishani, what does this do?
Which one?
Clear content. This
clear content. So for example, this file is already populated. Right?
Okay.
Now let's say if I want to use the same workbook and pick some other month's data. I should not clear content. I should actually delete all the sheets except for the master sheet. That change also I'm going to bring over here. It should not be clear content because it's going to add new sheet. So I am just going to do a work on worksheets.add. If the worksheet.name is equal to master, then worksheets I dot cells clear content, then clear the content if it's a master sheet, else worksheets I dot delete the sheet. Because I just want one file to be there, which is a master file. Rest, when it gets copy pasted, it's going to bring its name and the content all. So I want to delete all the previous files, and the master sheet, I just want to clear the content so that the next summary can be created. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
So for example, if I run this one by one, F8, and if I forgot. So if I run it one by one, F8, how many mistakes can I do? Duplicate declaration in the current scope. Where did I use I?
That I was also finding out.
Oh, J.
Yeah, I thought you had put it down.
So over here, see, it's counting and it will check if it's master. The first file is not master. So it went to else, delete, and it will permanently delete, right? And yes, and we'll disable the alerts also. So again, it's going next. Second is also not a master file. It will go ahead and delete it. So you see all the files and sheets are getting deleted. Is there a master file? Yes, there is. So if I run F5, subscript out of range. Why subscript out of range? Worksheets name.master. Oh, the count is changing. The count has changed. That's another problem we are facing, right? Now that we are deleting.
Yeah, the count is
not there. Okay. I'll activate and use active sheet.
Ishani, somehow we know that there'll be 4 sheets only. So is it necessary to put 4, do pair? We
Yes.
can define it as.
You're saying make it 4. Even for 4, it will give you an error, right? Because the 4th sheet won't be there if I keep on deleting it.
Yeah.
If I put it this way, then I'm not using the numbers. Now if I run it. Oh my goodness. What is this with me? Where am I using I now? I'm in love with I, I'm telling you. F5. Finally. And so it has cleared, right? Only master file is sheet is there. And now the new workbook is getting opened and applied. Now it's working. All right, look at it, please. Take out some time today because in 1 hour to do such programs is not possible. So a little bit time I'm asking from your personal time. I'm going to send this code, go through this code also, and then improve on this code in the sense you will have to add on more things of consolidation. The consolidation part is still left.
Yeah.
All right. So try to work on it before tomorrow's class. Tomorrow is Thursday. So we'll have a class at 2:30.
Yeah. And I hope you can imagine what is going with us.
What has happened with me also you could see today, right?
So what will our condition be? I mean,
I think coding it takes time. You have days when you're very good in coding. There are days when you're just logging yourself and your code doesn't work. So that's okay. That's okay. But try to put in some thought process because most of the work I've done, half of the work we've done together in the class. Now the second part of consolidation, just try. If you're able to do 2 sheets, it's just a matter of putting a loop and finishing it off.
Okay.
All right.
We'll try to finish it up. Yeah.
Yes, please. Yes. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shani.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you, Shani.
Please go down in the code.
Just one. Where did I miss?
Ishani, can you please upload this? After
yes, this file I'm uploading.
This stuff. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Shani.
All right. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Hello, Sunny. Vivek.
Yes.